For a manager who wants to embed wellness into their team's DNA, what initial steps would you advise?
Simple steps that are not hard to do, don't take a lot of time, not a lot of effort, but they need to be reminded of it. So the first thing is breathing. Uh, Conscious breathing can really help us calm down the nervous system. And so there's a few breathing techniques that I like people to use. That would be number one.
Which ones do you like?
There's something called the 4-7-8 breath.
Mm-hmm.
So it's breathing out for 8, breathing in through 4, and then holding it for 7. It's really great in the middle of the night if you can't fall asleep. It's shown to be better than drugs that you can take. But what I find for myself is that I usually fall asleep when I'm holding for 7. And then I know, oh, good, this is really helping me fall asleep. So that's one technique. And I make managers put a big breathe sign on their computer, a post-it, so that they remember to breathe. It's so easy, and it really works on the nervous system.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, to just talk a little bit about breathing, like I remember I was in gymnastics as a kid and I loved it. But I remember, I don't know why, but like there would be so many times I'd be holding my breath and my coach would be like, breathe.
Right, exactly.
Breathe. And I somehow am wired that way. So I do think that like it seems like it's really simple advice to say breathe, but it's the one thing you can do in public that people don't even notice. And it really does have
Exactly.
a big impact on you and your blood
Yes.
pressure.
Yep. And it works on the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems, and it really, the longer exhales are very soothing to the nervous system. Once you've relaxed, then you can focus in on what's going on in the present moment.
Okay. What was your next? Did you have another one that you wanted to share?
Well, I talk to managers about this is a tough one a little bit, but starting a meeting with a little bit of meditation or just making sure everybody's present. I think that's very helpful. We also do standing meetings and try to reduce the amount of time that we spend in meetings, and an agenda, a structured meeting where you have goals and people know what they want to accomplish, and you can tell when the meeting is finished and you've discussed everything.
And do you find any differences in trying to embed the wellness DNA when the organization or the leadership team is more results driven?
Well, I'm able, there's a lot of research that links all of this mindfulness and meditation to business results and success. And so I go back to the data, go back to the research, continue to have that, and have them give it a try.
Yeah. That's been our experience too is I mean some of them they just have a hard time letting go. Like they're so achievement focused. But usually it's like smaller experiments and once they start to see the impact personally on themselves, then they're more open to it for the team.
Some of the organization, I've done some interventions like team offsites. And I remember one of my biggest clients, the CEO, stood up in front of the room to introduce me. And he said, I don't know what we're going to do, and I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. And so it was a great way to start the meeting,
Yeah, at least it's open.
It's open, and we're going to give it a try. And I encourage you to all jump in.
What's a common pitfall that managers fall into when trying to adopt wellness practices?
I'd say it's hard to get everybody to buy in
Yeah.
to your leader's beliefs, right? And so incorporating it and dealing with the resistance and resistance to change is a good way for a leader to handle it.
I think what I've seen with some of the things in our organizations is like they don't they drive it through like trying to put a carrot in front of them. And so they make it gamified.
Mm-hmm.
And so then everybody is competing for how many steps they can do in a day. Like we had one where this one particular, I think he was a radiologist, and like the dude was just killing it in terms of like leaving everybody in the dust for like how much he walked around in the day, which, you would think that that might be a bad indicator for performance, but his performance was just fine. He just was like always in movement. And he was very popular because like he kind of regularly saw everybody and checked in and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And so like it was working. What he was doing was working, but like they got everybody in that competition and everybody was having a good time tracking each other's steps and progress. So it was
That's
kind of
amazing.
that was kind of cool. It's just, a little bit nicer than like, "Hey, you gotta we're doing this wellness thing and all of a sudden, your life has to change," right?
Uh-huh.
Instead, it's trying to drive people towards something that they want to go to instead of pushing people where you want them to go.
Definitely. And making it rewarding in and of itself, right? Taking a 10-minute walk around, um, all the wellness things. You don't have to it doesn't have to be long, and it doesn't have to be hard. The latest research shows that even 10-minute walks can help your enhance your health.
Well, and I think too, with like our environment with so many jobs that are sitting, multiple 10-minute walks throughout the day may actually be better than just like a long walk. I I personally, if I have any amount of time, I'm hitting the sidewalk and
Mhm.
just trying to get it in. So like throughout the day, like I'm putting together a lot of time that I'm walking, but I feel like it's better to just get up and move more frequently than just in one lump sum.
A good way to make meetings 45 minutes long, right? So you have 10 minutes in between to take a walking break.
Yeah.
But I was curious if you have a standing desk. Have you done that yet?
Yeah, I have one that goes up and down.
Okay. And do you like it?
Yeah, yeah, but my husband uses it probably more than I do because like I'm somebody who kind of carries my laptop everywhere with me. I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing things and I'm on the laptop and I'm, so it goes with me. It truly is a mobile computer for me. Whereas Jeff likes a little bit more structure in his work environment. He's
Got it.
He's very West Point still in some regards. So, he always has to have a desk. I'm like, we could really just work at the dining room table.
Routine and structure is very important.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I do think it is important for wellness because it's like it provides a boundary. It's like a psychological boundary. Like he's at his desk and so he's in work mode.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, for me, what I'm doing is actually bad practice because it's essentially opening up work to sort of, you know, squeeze its way into every aspect of my life.
Yep.
So, as a manager for mistakes or high stress and emotional turmoil, what are your recommendations for helping people get through it, especially as a team?
Sure. I was running a project at Citigroup. It was the first time we were doing a citywide training program, and it was focused on employees doing the right thing in terms of ethically and our shared responsibilities. And it was the first time we were doing online. This is before YouTube and everything. So we were using compact discs, and it had to go to in 17 languages to over 53 countries. It was huge. We had every part of Citigroup involved. And, at one point, there was a big mistake, a big glitch, like, financial services couldn't use CDs because it would get in the way of their business, and the team just kind of fell apart. They were so d demotivated, they deflated, and I
Oh,
looked at them, I said, "Nobody died, let's move on." So, really forgiving yourself and staying in the moment are important to me. That's how you, bounce back. That's how leaders bounce back. They own the mistake, they admit it, and they are focused on the present. We don't have control over the mistakes and the glitches that we're going to have, but we do have control over how we respond to them. And I think that's the key. I focus in on things that really people have control over. And it's empowering to be able to respond to glitches with, okay, let's move forward.